So I'll start with diversity. Diversity at its core is simply an acknowledgement of all the differences that we all have, that you already know about. But particularly in the independent school, which they're predominantly white institutions usually, that diversity piece is key, because as you add people to the community that aren't predominantly white, it's an acknowledgement that the school believes and wants more than just one type of person, right? One type of family, one type of child. I was on a roll. I don't know what I did. You got like 15 seconds, and then that's diversity. I mean, there's more to it, and I will say we used to use the Big 8, right? The Big 8 identifiers for a long time. They're still relevant, but there's probably 25 now. But like age, ability, race, ethnicity, gender, socioeconomic status, sexual orientation, religion. I think I got them on. I wasn't in order, but. So, and we build there's so much more: family structure, educational background, how your learning style. They'll help me out. I don't want to. So that's that. Equity. That word. That's the hardest one. And I think it says a lot that schools didn't use that word for a long time, because it's a huge commitment. It's not fuzzy. It's hard. You got So it's not equality. It's equity, right? So we're going to do what we got to do to make this right. Versus saying we're all this, we're all in this. We are all in this together, but we didn't start at the same place. So equity acknowledges that, right? So I might have to do something a little special for my dear friend over here. You might be good with that for this particular thing, and I'm gonna do it, and it's good. It's not unfair, which is what we get told and often have to answer to. When we answer it, we can answer that. I'll turn it over to my colleagues.
Okay. That was a great start. I will offer, I'm a former kindergarten teacher, so I get into the concrete, right? So if we're talking about diversity and difference, there's a professor, I think, D.L. Stewart, who has a conversational example, which says diversity is asking the question, who's in the room? So how many different types of people are in the room? And oftentimes, word of caution, when you're visiting our schools and they'll say, how diverse is the school? If they jump to the people of color number, flag. Because that's a limited scope when we're talking about what our children need. So that's one, or two, or three. And then equity is, in that D.L. Stewart framework, is asking the question, who's trying to get in but can't, and what's the barrier? So that's that equity piece, and that's why it's the harder piece, because we're talking about structural change, policy change, if systems, right? If you think about financial aid is a function of equity, right? Learning profiles and extended time is a function of equity in terms of neurodivergence. And then inclusion is really the things in which we do to make people feel seen. Right? Does everyone feel seen and valued in this space? And so inclusion is like affinity groups, right? Or parent groups for BIPOC families, or partnerships with RIISE. the things that signal that we're thinking beyond the status quo, if that makes sense. And then belonging.
Oh.
You got the B and the J, bro.
B and J, okay. So belonging, when I think of belonging in our community, is you showing up and as who you are, right? So exactly, your full self. Thank you.